Okay. Thank you for tuning in on my weight loss challenge for Nana Cherie. It was hard getting up this morning, knowing that I had to go to work. And I'm like, why me? Why me? Right? Because, like I said, I should have been retired. I should have been retired. I was supposed to have been retired in 2020, right? But since my shit was derailed, I guess so did everybody else's shit had to get derailed too. Yeah. Not my fault. Right? But just like my post, I was saying, you have these people out here, they don't listen. And they don't use their critical thinking. So when you tell them something, they just run it by their feelings. And most of the time they're not going to like it. Because why? It comes from outside of themselves. Right? And because it comes from outside of them, unless they identify with it, and it's similar to their own thoughts, it's going to be abrasive. And they're not going to like that feeling. Okay? So, yeah. Had to decide if it was warm enough to take a shower, or if taking a shower was going to burst my pipes. Right? Didn't want neither one of that to go on, but I took a shower anyway because I sure needed one. I brought my medicine with me. I brought my protein chips. I brought my protein drinks. I brought my salad. I brought my my beef stick snacks. What else? Man, I tell you, sometimes when you get people behind you, you just want to make a way for them to get around you. I'm serious. They're just a pain in the ass. For real. For real. It's almost like society has to make cars that won't go over 60 miles an hour. Right? Because people, not only are they undisciplined, to stay within the speed limit, they feel entitled to go however fast their vehicle can go. It's just like, what? What's wrong with you? And that's one of the reasons that's partially one of the reasons why I want to get out of America, because they're so stupid, you know, and you can't tell them that they're stupid. They actually think they're clever, right? Even if they end up smashed somewhere, you know, car all, you know, crumpled in, and they're on their, you know, dying breath because, you know, they speeded and their car got out of control. You know, they will still say, you know, they did it their way. As if they did something, you know, wonderful and beautiful. There are a lot of people out here who were meant to be unique. It comes across very authentically. They don't follow anybody. However, they're motivated through creativity, not rebellion. See, a lot of these rebellious Americans, they think by them being rebellious makes them different, special. Okay? And I don't know if they got that from their mama or what, but it's like, what? You know, you rebel against, you know, the whole system of your country, and you want to be praised for it, right? So I've been watching a lot of these videos, right, where people are like, they're so sick and tired of America and they're leaving, right? And I feel the same way, right? But when they go out of the country, you know, they get disappointed because they don't have the same power of entitlement outside of the country that they had utilized while they were in their country. So a lot of them don't like it out there. They're like, oh my gosh, you know, they can't make money the way that they can make money here. They can't, you know, do the things that, you know, they've been able to get away with here. A lot of times they're not allowed to do it here. It's just that they know that people are so complacent, so nonchalant, right? And people have gotten used to that so much where we now blame the victim for not being tolerated, not being tolerant, right? That's how it is here. And I guess they feel like, oh, you know, united we stand and divided we fall. But then when you make that stance against them, they don't understand. It's like, what? How dare you? It's like, no, how dare you? How dare you force me to fight for my freedom over your oppression, and then you're saying you're oppressed because you can't go around here hurting people. What? Right. So yeah, you know, I did go into one of those philosophical thoughts about, you know, at what point when people say, you know, fight fire with fire, it's like, no, you don't fight fire with fire. That's a tit for tat, right? You fight fire with water. You know, put the flame out. All right? But, you know, you're going to do tit for tat. That's That's not going to get you anything anywhere except make you be the same way those people are who were offensive in the first place. Right, but a lot of people, when they get violated, they get offensive. Well, they get so defensive that they are like not wanting to show the other person that they've been hurt or how they feel about what was done to them. And they want to jump straight into, fire, fire upon fire. And I don't know where they got that from, because nowhere does it say, to fuel the fire with fire. But anyway, a lot of people think that, angry people that go around here hurting people, that they actually enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah, you have to be a special kind of sadistic type of person in order to actually enjoy it, to get off on it. But a lot of times, angry people are people, who are definitely working out some of that shadow side, that child wounding. Because, most adults, they're adult enough to say it is what it is. But it's that child that's still fighting, to have to prove themselves or to have to get revenge, and and they think that that's really going to make them happy, but only to find out that that they now see the world through the eyes of a terrorist, and they can't trust anybody. Everybody's a potential threat to them. They don't even understand how they have changed their whole perspective. Right? And then when their perspective catches up, to their sins, when the sins grow up, then there's death. I love that saying. When the sins grow up, then there's death. And like right now, you have a lot of people who have done some really messed up stuff, and they feel really bad, and they don't know how to get rid of the bad feelings. They think, and nobody said they get paid for thinking, but they think that what they can do is make dark magic sacrifices to get rid of the shame and the guilt and the pain that they're feeling. Right? And I can't help it. It makes me laugh. I'm like, really? I got my eyes closely watching this one, because that's totally contrary to universal law, right? And it's also against 3D law. And I'm like, how do you think that's going to work out? So they're feeling a lot of bad feelings, and and they don't know what to do with themselves, but repent is not in their vocabulary. Repent, motherfucker, repent, right? And if that don't work, then do like Jesus said, leave all your possessions behind and go to a new land and start fresh anew. Don't even bring your memories, no thoughts, nothing, no money, nothing. See, in the average man, they don't want to do that because they had did wicked stuff in order to get what they got. And they don't believe that they can actually, co-create with the universe. They just don't believe it. Now, this is not the same thing as when somebody works really hard. They saved up years and years and years to get what they want, and then they finally got what they want, and therefore, they don't want to release, what they have spent years and years and years acquiring. That's not what I'm talking about. Because generally universal law will allow them to keep, something that, they had, worked really hard for, saved for, sacrificed for, they will let them keep that. Now, another man, a human being, out there, now they might be the ones like, nah, you can't have that, and then try to take away from you. Which, this is what we kind of seen that happened during this land grab, right? Where the land grab and the money grab, where, these Manilios and Generation X, decided that they would unite and devalue dispossess and dispose of people that they felt like were in their way of living the life that they want to live. And they're starting to feel the effects of that. That what they had did was was truly out of panic, because a lot of people have come to the age to realize that they didn't follow the current business systems, such as getting an education, such as only partying once or twice a month. Nope, they didn't do that. They tried to party every day for years, and then they when they finally realized that they was old, they were like, oh my gosh, the only thing that they could do was to try to get what they wanted from other people. Which is why, they fucked off their gifts. Generation X fucked off their gifts, period. The majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them, they fucked off their gifts. And a lot of them are, in thinking that it's okay to prey upon people that are weaker than them. And con people that have more than what they have. And they think, it's all about survival. Right? Because they're not going to accept that they fucked off all of their younger life, over and over and over. And now they're getting ready to be old. And with their last ditch effort of the strength that they have, it's like, well, do or die now, right? And a lot of them, they're not going to make it. But what can I say? That's what happens when, you bet. You put your life on a bet. Or you think something is so important that, you're like over your dead body. And then, when it happens, you don't believe that it just happened. Because once it happens, it happens so fast that, you don't have time to think about it, except to think that, oh my God, it's happening now. I tell you what, I'm sitting here with an electrical vehicle, and I got this car behind me. Look how close he is. Look. They think it's cute, but I can't speed. So if I was to step on my brakes right now, this person would definitely run into the back of me. Now I drop down to 40 to 45. Because I'm telling you, my battery is draining. That's that fool right there. Yeah. You don't know what's going on with other people. That's why you don't have the right to tell people what they should do and can do. You can advise them. Right? If you have to say anything at all. Matter of fact, that's the best thing to do, is just advise people. But I'm going to tell you, there was a time where we couldn't even ask for advice from people, because people were like, I don't know why you were going to ask me for advice. You're not going to take it anyway. And it's just like, well, it was something, a different idea that you at least wanted to consider, But they want to put so much weight on the fact that, they're going to tell you some type of idea about your situation that you have to take it, and it's just like, you need to really stop it. Right? And granted, I did make a post saying, hey, y'all didn't listen to me when I told you they're out here firing people without cause, and y'all was just, thinking that, no, it's just you. They just firing just you. And I said, no, I haven't done anything wrong. You know, I don't have no bad, you know, work evaluations in my file. And I told them, I said, if it could happen to me, it could definitely happen to you. And they were like, nah, you know, better you than me. You know, I'm gonna go along to get along. That's probably why, you know, they're attacking your ass, because you ain't going along to get along. And I'm like, why would I go along with anything that I know is going to have a negative impact presently and in the future? I'll wait. So now, people 55 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, they're getting fired without cause. And people are just sort of like, they're just sort of looking. Like, oh yeah, that's normal. Right? So, what's going to happen is they really think that, you know, these corporations actually need them. And I'm like, why would they need you when they got robots? You know, every day we start seeing more and more robots being implemented, right? I was watching some videos where they had robots as servers at restaurants. So, yeah. They were simple robots. You know, and we kind of knew something like that was coming ever since, you know, we seen, what was that? RoboVac. Remember the vacuum cleaner that will clean your house while you're at work? Or vacuum up your house while you're at work. Now they got them where they're so sensitive and pattern guidance that, you know, that they course correct themselves. So anyway, tomorrow is supposed to be another mild day. Even though right now the temperature is 30 degrees. Today was actually supposed to be a mild day. But it looked like, you know, they pushed that out for Monday. So the next 2 days are going to be not so much freezing. Well, today is actually freezing right now. Temperature out here says 30 degrees. And the high is supposed to be like 40 something. But that's better than what it was, because what it was in the it was in the 20s this time of the day. So, yeah. post on Facebook started out with, "I told you so," right? Because when they sat there and they watched me get harassed and wouldn't stand up, and they were like, "Oh, the only reason why you're getting harassed is because you're standing up for somebody else," which I was. They were trying to, I don't know why, but they were trying to get rid of, this Hispanic woman who had, I think she had like 25 years of seniority. Bilingual, very smart, very progressive. But, I couldn't even understand what was the problem. Why would they want to get rid of an asset? I mean, I would understand if you're getting rid of a liability. But this lady was not a liability. She was a hard worker. And she followed the rules. And she had very good attendance. Her attendance was damn near better than mine. So I don't know why they was, trying to get rid of her, except I don't know. I think maybe they was threatened by her. She was a single, good-looking woman. She was on the petite side, very attractive. She was, I think she might have even been older than me. But she looked fabulous. And even as a mature woman, she was getting ready to get married again, and I was astonished by her life. And I remember her realizing that I was fighting for her. She told me, she said, "There's no reason for me to fight for her." And I'm like, no. It's not necessarily for her that I was fighting. What I was fighting for was injustice. And I remember going to my manager, and I was telling my manager, I said, there are some things that are just wrong. And she was acting all obtuse, like she didn't know what I was talking about, or that people couldn't see what she was doing. And I'm like, there are people out here that don't have to see you do what you did, but they know that you did it. And a lot of people want to operate out of the premise, well, if you can't prove it, then shut up. It's like, no. We're in America. We have freedom of speech. We can talk about how we feel. As long as it's not, just explicatives. Right? And they tried to change that. They tried to make it seem like, oh, it's okay to just cuss and, and this, that, and the third. But a lot of people are going outside of the country finding out that they can't behave the same way outside of any other country except America. And they're not going to be able to keep getting away with it here. Which was one of the reasons why, people voted for Trump. Because, they wanted to bring back a certain discipline. And along with the discipline can be a different kind of oppression. But the oppression that we was getting while under the Democrats, it had no structure. It was like anarchy. Right? Anarchy oppression is the worst. People are traumatized. They're walking around in fear. The type of oppression where you gotta follow the rules, right, is a lot different than you're afraid that somebody just might violate you at any time, right? Because America and the UK not only are known as a rape culture, but they're also a culture that kills. Okay? And, the weird part about it was how many people wanted to get into that type of lifestyle, right? Before it was just a small percentage, of people. Then it was, people were looking for people willing to do whatever, just to take someone out. Right? We went through that whole period of almost just about every time the Democrats get into office, where people start thinking it's better just to assassinate people and take over, their land or their money, or to get rid of them as an influence. So we had some people who were just, so brainwashed by, their own mental conflict that they couldn't even accept the idea that someone didn't like them. Right? It was like, oh, if somebody tells you they don't like you, they couldn't handle it. They were killing them or getting those people killed. And that's just, I don't even know what type of, psychosis, schizophrenic that is. That's beyond, the overwhelming group that became narcissists or psychopathic or sociopathic. That there was another group that was schizophrenic, right? And the other group that were paranoid on their way to becoming schizophrenic. Because these diseases, they're progressive in the most cases, except psychopathy. Psychopathy, you basically, are born that way. But most other type of mental illness is something that you develop into. I don't know what happened to my hats. I had a lot of hats. I even had a free hat from the job. And I don't know where it's at. And I don't know what happened to it. But anyway. So, the way that they're even misusing narcissists right now is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And there's a lot of women out here that suffer from histrionics. This is where they demand attention, and it's founded from, needing that attention as a result of how they look. It's not really talked about a lot because a lot of the men want to clump them into, the framework of them just being a narcissist. Because that's what most men are. Most men are narcissists because it's not really based off of their looks. Most men aren't even that attractive. So it's something else. So yeah, I am here early. I got 45 minutes before it's time for me to start. And I think I'm going to cut this video off here because I can't really think of much more to think about that I want to talk about. And I don't want to sit out here in the cold. I'd rather go inside because it is 30 degrees out here. And I am still suffering from a cold. So, okay. Bye. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going to take my turmeric and my vitamin B that I bought yesterday from the Dollar Tree. Yes. And take me a toothpick or two. Yeah. 2 toothpicks. And some tinted lip aloe. Oh, my lips feel so much better. Whew. Oh, my princess perfume. Why not? yeah. Let me take my that, and now I'll call it quits. I've already taken my protein drink, 50 grams of protein, some collagen, some fiber. I took my vitamin C, my Q10, my A and D, and yeah, just need to top it off with some bees and some turmeric, and I should be doing really good today. Okay. Oh yeah, my cough drops. Need to take that with me too. Okay. Now goodbye.